Welcome back to EOP. We have Michelle joined with her model, Corey Kroll, here to show us how to get flawless looking eyebrows. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I thought the best thing to show you to start off with, because you see a lot of brow tutorials everywhere, but I thought it'd be important to know where your brow should be placed properly.
Ooh.
If you want to accentuate them, then you go past those areas, but it's good to know where they begin, where they end, and actually where the arch should be at. Then if you want to make it enhancement because of the styles change, then you do that but follow the same points that I showed you. Right? And it'll make it flawless for your particular facial shape, right? Because everybody's face is different.
Very true.
They always have these perfect models sometimes when you're looking at it, but not everybody's face is the same.
Very
So it's important to know where it should be placed. So if you're looking at your face, you want to look straight and you want to take any object that's straight, you want to place it in the corner of your nose and make it go straight up. Your tear duct, or the inside corner of your eye, should be right in line where your corner of your nose is, and that's where the brow should start. So anything past that point should be tweezed off. So anything in this area should come off. Once you find out where it should start at, you got to find out where it should end. To do that, you're going to use the corner of the nose as a guide. You're going to take your straight object and make it go sideways, and from the corner of the nose to the end of the eye is where the brow should end. If anything goes past that, you should tweeze or wax those areas off. Now, to find where the arch should be placed, whether it's a rounded arch or whether it's a high arch, you can either use the corner of the mouth, or if you're looking straight, you can use your pupil. And right at the end of the pupil where the iris starts, if you just put a straight object straight up, that's where the high point of your arch should be placed. So you can have, there's really basically only two types of brow arches, and it's either rounded or it's a high arch, kind of like how mine is here.
Right.
So that should be determined by the type of face that you have, whether it's round or whether it's long or whether it's triangle shaped or something like that. For example, if you have a very long oval face, if you have a very high arch, it'll draw attention to the length of your face.
Right.
So it's best to round that one off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how wide you like it, that's up to personal preference.
Right.
But just to show you how it should be arched, and it'll make your face look more attractive by following those guidelines.
Sure.
Let's say you have a small round face. If you have a rounded brow on a round face, it's going to draw attention to the roundness of your
Yeah,
face.
don't want
So if
that.
you have a round face, make a nice high arch and it kind of slims your face a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you just know where it's supposed to start, where it's supposed to end, and where the highest point should be, you can shape them according to what you like.
Right.
So I'm going to go from put that down and show you kind of how to do how to tweeze with a tweezer, okay? Because
Alright.
if you get your eyebrows waxed, or even if you get them tweezed, in between you can get the hairs out just to keep your brows looking fresh all the
Maintenance.
time. Yeah, maintain them.
Yeah.
But even if you don't, and if you're trying to learn how to do this yourself at home, it's really hard to wax yourself, and you may make a mistake and wax off your whole eyebrow. So
Been there, done that.
yeah, right. Haven't we all done that at one point in time? You got half an eyebrow, and you have to paint the rest of
Yes.
them on for a while. So, but just a basic tweeze. It's not really that hard. But if you know where your brow is supposed to start and end, if you know where your high point is supposed to be, when you're tweezing, you want to hold your tweezer close to the bottom of it. And when you're tweezing, you want to find the hair and get real close to the base and pull in the direction that it grows quickly, right? A lot of times people pull the hair from the tip and pull it, and that's what makes it hurt, right?
Finesse.
So you want to get close to the root, grab it close to the skin, and give it a quick pull in the direction that it goes. And also, here's another key important thing. You have to stretch your skin. That's one thing I learned in barber school. The skin stretches really good. And if you want to, it stretches. The skin's going to go back, so don't worry about that. Stretch that skin out, get it nice and taut, and that way you'll be able to get those hairs off quickly and easily. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so now let me show you another trick. Once you get the perfect brow shape in, not everybody's brow always is dark enough. Not only that, sometimes your brow may end on one side where it doesn't end on the other side.
Right.
That's so irritating. Well, there's a few simple tricks that you can do to fix that. And as you can see here, you don't need no special supplies. You could use eyeshadow to do it. You can buy little pencils from the
Right.
store that have a nice little tip.
Doesn't need to be expensive.
It doesn't need to be expensive.
Beauty on a budget.
Beauty on a budget. That's right.
We're
We're all
all
on a
looking
budget,
for.
right? And you don't need a lot of money to look good. That's
Yeah.
my point.
That is my
You know,
motto.
you don't need a lot of money to look good. So let me just show you a few little tricks.
Sure.
If you're going to use a brow pencil, the best thing to do, and I tell my students this all the time, you can practice on your hand, especially if you have something like this. You have your hand, it's a nice little palette. Learn how to make those strokes, on your hand first. So you can, when you put it on your face, you don't have to keep wiping your brow off 50 times to dry it over again, right?
That's me.
Your hand's a good practice. Now, when you're on the eyebrow, you're going to, again, stretch that skin out, and you're going to make short strokes in a feathery formation all the way down the corner. So when it's easy with the pencil, because especially this one is already angled, and it's really easy to just kind of follow the brow line. And you don't want to press hard. That's the thing. If you press too hard, you're going to get small lines, and then you're not going to be able to get them off, and you're getting the Q-tips, and now you got to start over. Now your foundation's messed up. Now you got to start from the beginning. We don't have time. We got classes. We got to go to work.
Yes.
We can't keep doing our brows over 50 times a day. So another thing you
She's
can
right.
do is you can use just simple makeup brushes. These are just
Okay.
2 little small brushes.
Perfect.
Find get some eyeshadow. They have lots of different kinds. I suggest not to use a shimmer unless you're going out in the evening and you want it to show up. You can use a shimmer.
Glitter brow,
Yeah.
just the moment.
Anything you want to
going out
do
in
is
the
fine. So this palette is nice. It has a wide range of different colors. And for any brow, if you have blonde hair or dark brown hair, you can always mix them together just to get the right color. So for Corey, we use a little bit of this brown, mix it with a tiny bit of the black, and always tap your brush off too, because you get that little extra,
Yeah.
that extra makeup on the end, and then it ends up on your cheek, and now you're like,
Explodes, yeah.
dang, now I got
I've been
makeup
there.
on my cheek. So when you're using a brush or eyeshadow is nice because it doesn't leave lines. You just want to just do it very lightly, and just kind of fill it in with light, even strokes, and make it even with the other one. Look how nice that filled that in. Like you can't even tell.
Beautiful. Very natural.
Very natural. You don't see no strokes. It almost looks like her brow is already that color.
Right.
So and she does have a nice brow, but this just kind of redefines it, makes it perfect. Look at that. It's just perfect. Gorgeous. I love it. Other things that you can do if you don't have those kind of brushes. I mean, everybody has these somewhere, right? You have,
of course.
Everything you buy has one of these little applicators with it, and
Yeah.
they don't last long. But watch how easy.
They come with everything too.
They come
I
with
know.
everything. These
Don't
little-
toss them, keep them.
Yeah.
Keep these things, right? These little, if you use it from the side, if you look at it, it's flat here for
Right.
shadow, but just the corner,
Rounded.
man, I've used these to do lip lines with lipstick.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. You can put a little lipstick, get it on the corner. You can do a real nice lip line,
Right.
So you can use these little things for anything. So if you're going to use an applicator, you just kind of put it on the corner of it. Just on the corner, stretch that brow out, and you just do the same thing as if it were a pencil or a brush. Real nice. Look at that. So, I mean, you can go from your brows being barely noticeable to being very defined and still
Yeah.
look natural at the same time.
Absolutely.
So I think it looks nice, and that fits her very
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
You can use, these are just mascara brushes. I mean, you can have, I've even, this is another trick I've done. You know how you get a mascara and it gets old?
Yeah.
And I've taken those when they still have a little mascara in it, and you can take a tissue or something and wipe it off, and just leave a little bit on there, and you can just go across your brow, and it leaves your, it combs it and leaves a little bit of color, and makes you a nice brow that way too.
Recycle your makeup. That's another way to save money. You save
Right.
those old brushes you're gonna throw away.
There's a lot of, I'm telling you, there's lots of different, you don't have to be rich to be able to
Right.
have your makeup flawless.
You don't have to have a Kardashian
Right.
budget for Kardashian brows.
Right, you sure don't. That's right. You sure don't. I got all the tricks. And let me just show you one more thing real quick.
Sure.
To even make your brows stand out even more, you can also take a highlighter, which is be like a lighter color.
This is my
tap it
favorite
off,
part.
tap it off, and then you put that highlighter right under that brow, and that really defines that brow. It makes it stand out really nice. Like when you look at it, you're like, wow, I can see that so well. It just makes your whole face
Show
open
off
up.
your work.
Yeah, it looks good, and she looks ready to go. I love it. It looks nice.
So natural too.
All right, so there you have a brow that is easy to do and that is very noticeable, and it's filled in nicely, and it'll last her all night long.
Awesome.
Perfect. That is amazing. You look
Thank
so
you, Corey.
good,
You look beautiful.
Corey. Thank you. Well, thank you guys both so much.
Thanks for having us.
teaching
We
us
had a good
that, and for showing us how to get those flawless brows.
Sure, I hope it helped.
And with that, we are at the end of
Okay.
this week's episode of Entertainment on Point.
As always, thanks for tuning in, and make sure you follow Entertainment on Point on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all of the latest news. And don't forget to share your favorite reports on Facebook with all of your friends. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.